Let's see what's on the docket today. Yep. Time to fill in the old raisins. Show you guys what they look like right now. Those are walking onions. That is random garlic. More walking onions. More walking onions, which by the way, they are amazing. More garlic, henbit. But you can see how far down the dirt has gone away over the past couple years. Over here I have asparagus that I'm going to cut out, and then I'm going to fill it in so the new spears can go right up through the dirt. I'll show you the next one. Don't forget about Sunchoke Row. There's the bed around the old chicken coop. These are horseradish plants that have came from the original mama plants over here, and they've sent roots underneath these boards somehow, underneath and back up, all the way over there. But anyways, this is the raised bed. And I filled this completely full of, what I want to say, mushroom compost from an actual mushroom factory, if you want to call it that. This is the medium that they grow those mushrooms in. And I let it sit in here for pretty much close to a year before I planted anything in it because it was so hot. And it's really good, nice, fluffy, loose dirt. But as you can see, doing the same thing, sinking down. Same story over here, more rogue horseradish and some walking onions, some strawberries. I think I'm just going to cover them up. I planted a whole bunch of what's called pine berries in here. For the life of me, I cannot figure out how to get them to bear fruit, so I'm just going to be done with it. Pine berries are the strawberries that are like white on the outside and the seed is red actually. They're supposed to taste like pineapples. I'm sure there's some GMO thing, but you know. So this is going to get filled in. These are built out of two 2x6s stacked on top of each other and screwed together with blocks to hold them upright. So you can see that's like 5.5 inches low right through here. We're gonna fill it up. Bed number 3 on the other side of the chicken coop. I built this out of scrap material from work off of a deck that I tore down. It's all good other than just right over here. There must have been one board that was really bad. It's all treated lumber, but that board must have been really bad whenever I took it home. But anyways, this is sunk down way far, so there was a hole right here in the back where I filled it in with lumber and some scrap wood and stuff and rocks. So you can see how far down that's come, and that's a lot. I mean, that's probably 8 inches. Literally, the dirt where I filled this in was flush with the top, this outside board. So it has broken down a bunch. I used to have some strawberries in here, and none of them have come back for whatever reason this season. That's all right, because I need to start a different variety. Don't hate me because of this garlic bed either. Check it out. It's like a chia pet. This is where I grew garlic last year. I'm sorry, 2 falls ago I planted garlic in here. And then I didn't dig it up last year because I didn't have time to mess with it. So every single clove, I think, is coming up from the bulbs that were made a year ago. Let's see if I can get a clump of this to come up and I'll show you. Yeah, check it out. Like every single, like this used to be a head of garlic, and now it's every single clove is starting its own plant. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'll bet every one of these clumps I pull up has 10 plants on it. So I think what I'll do is I'll yank all this out, and then immediately today I'll do this bed last. And immediately after I yank them up and fill this in, I'll probably honestly just plant them right here, because this will be probably even from here over this direction with that little triangle shaped area. This amount of surface area will probably be more than enough garlic for what I need. Let the work commence. One bed down, 5 to go. I'll show you the stuff. This is the Timberline brand. There's a nutrition facts on it. Doesn't have a whole lot of fertilizer in it, but I really don't care about that. I just need a filler that's a good growing medium. You can see it's pretty good stuff. I haven't found any real big like chunks of cow manure or anything like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they compost a bunch of wood because it's got wood chips in it here and there, but as far as quality goes, I think it's pretty good stuff. It looks like it may have some sand mixed into it. I don't know if you guys can see that shiny fine particulate in there. I'm assuming that's sand. It looks like sand to me, but nothing. I haven't smelled anything that smells like cow manure, so I think they're breaking it down really well before they bag it up. So all I did in here, whatever was in here got covered up basically. I'm gonna just let it do its thing. But I think I'm gonna plant potatoes. I got potatoes and onions I need to get in the ground, and they do really well in these raised beds. It saves me from having to put them over there in the big garden and then have to work around them while I'm trying to get my tomatoes in and things like that. So, one bed down. Well, this isn't even the whole bed down, but it didn't take too long, probably 10 or 15 minutes. Well, ma'am. So this next bed, I'll show you guys my asparagus. It just started coming up a week ago. I hope I'm not screwing up here, but the bigger pieces I'm going to go ahead and cut off, and then I'm going to hope that the crowns will just continue to come on up through the new medium I put down. Look how thick that one is, my goodness. I think this variety is Mary Washington asparagus. I planted it, 2 years ago now. I haven't cut anything off of it, so you're supposed to let it rest for 2 years before you cut anything. It helps it grow better. But look at this one. I mean, this thing's like 2 feet tall. If I don't cut it, it still feels pretty flexible, so it should be tender enough to eat. But there's probably enough in here for 1 or 2 meals for my wife and I. Hey, Mr. Lizard. There's gonna be all kinds of critters out here soon. Anyways, we're gonna do an experiment, cut it out of the way, fill it in, see if it comes on up through there. First bed bites the dust. Done. On to the next one. Here we go. So as you can see, I dug up some of that horseradish. Here's one of the plants. Look at that root. That's like my arm, basically. It's freaking nuts. This plant was right here, and this root came all the way over here. And then there was another plant right there growing off the end of this root. Incredible. I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago when I built this, I put 2 pieces of horseradish tuber right here in this triangle section that were like that long, like the size of my finger. And now it's like trying to take everything over. You see the mama plants right here in this corner. Just 2 of them. They're still there, but they're going all over the place now. Just to give you all an idea of coverage, these are 40-pound bags, right? I showed you the wrapper earlier. That's 8 bags worth right there. So that filled in like 5 to 6 inches, probably 8 feet long, 7 feet long maybe. This bed's 20 feet long each direction, and then this little triangle part right here. So these are 20-foot 2x6s, and it's not quite half. I'd say it's about 7 feet. So that's the coverage I'm getting. And another one done. Final bed. All the beds around the chicken coop are 3 feet wide, basically 11 to 12 inches. Well, these are 2 by 12, so they're 11 and a quarter tall. And the ones over here on the other side of the chicken coop are doubled up 2 by 6s. Those are 5.5 inches wide, so they're 11 inches tall. Since there's 2 of them stacked vertically on top of each other, regardless, they take the same volume to fill them up. So yeah, I'm just giving you guys the dimensions of my raised beds. There goes 8 bags. Got the garlic transplanted. As you can see, there's like, I don't even know, at least 60 plants right here, and I got them all from just 5 or 6 handfuls of bulbs that I left in the ground last year. So I pulled all my garlic up, laid it all flat. I'm going to cover it with dirt, allow it to let, you know, the dirt will suffocate it, make it rot, and it'll turn it into compost over time without having to take this out, put it in a compost bin, bring it back, put it in the garden bed. And I'll prove it to you guys here in a couple months after it breaks down. And another one bit the dust. That's the last one. Hooray. See the difference in color here. Dark stuff is what I've been using. The whatever brand it is, Timberline compost and manure mixture. That lighter brown is just a partial bag of peat moss I had laying around. Peat moss. I didn't really have much use for it. Alright, final product here. This is what this bed looks like. Go garlic. This is the chicken coop bed, all dirted out, if you want to call it that, ready to grow. Then this is the bed on the small garden with the asparagus in it. I'll keep you guys posted on how this little experiment goes as far as the asparagus is already starting to emerge, and I put dirt on top of it after I cut the mature stalks out. We'll see if they come up through it or not. Here's the other beds. I'm just going to leave these onions alone because I don't want to lose them. These are the red variety of Egyptian walking onions. They're very low maintenance. If you don't have any, I strongly suggest you at least try to find some somewhere, because it makes almost no difference where you plant them. They just grow. They're very low maintenance. Leave them in the same spot all year. They literally make, I'll show you guys this season, instead of making seeds, they actually make little bitty bulbs on the end of the plant. And then once the mama plant dies, the green onion part actually dies and dries out, and the weight of those babies on the end of it makes it fall over like that. And that's why they call them walking onions. Pretty cool. Tommy boy, give us a gobble. Can you say gobble? All right, there he is. He's getting over his camera shyness, I guess. Been playing the dirt, I guess, huh? So yeah, that's pretty much all for today, y'all. That was my main goal for this weekend as far as the garden goes. Next thing is going to be figuring out where I want to put, say, my potatoes and onions. And now that I have this job done, that's going to make planting them so much easier. And being able to maintain onions in a raised bed is 1,000 times easier than in the ground in a big garden in just normal dirt, because the lack of weed seed, basically. If you can plant onions in a raised bed, do it. Just giving you some advice. I've been planting them in the ground in my big garden for years, and it's a lot easier in a raised bed, especially if you're using inert substrate. So guys, I'll check you later. I'll see you on the next one. It is March 29th. Everything is blooming. We had a, let's see, yesterday it got down. Let me show you. Here's my apple tree. And oh, there's a bee. Where'd he go? She go, I mean. Where'd she go? Anyways, if I hold this still long enough, you can probably see a couple buzzing around through here. But yesterday morning, it was like 30, depending on where you're at, between 30 and 32 degrees in the morning. I came out here, got my sprinkler on, and turned it on at about 5:30 to keep these blooms from freezing. You can see the outside petals are just a hair brown, like they got bit just a little bit, but look at all the blooms that haven't even opened yet. They look perfectly fine. So if you got this tree's about 15 years old, I'd say. I planted it whenever I moved in here, and it was about this tall. I'd say it's about a 6 foot, 7 foot tall apple tree. Now look at it. It's, my gosh, it's probably 16 inches wide at the ground where it meets the dirt. It almost looks like 3 different trees in one now because of the way it grew, but it's done really well. That's just another little tidbit of advice for you guys. Turn the spring. It'll save your apple blooms. Gosh, I can't think. I need some water. Anyways, I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace out.